Hey there, we're back again this week, and this time we're going to be working outside. I have some outdoor space that I want to transform into a beautiful outdoor living area for my family. That way we can enjoy it this summer. And this is going to be part one of an outdoor video series that I have for you all on my channel. So let's get started. My name is Yami, and I am your Latina next door. Welcome back to Mi Casa. Today's video is in partnership with Domi Outdoor Living. Domi Outdoor Living aims to provide its worldwide customers with exceptional outdoor living furniture. They create more than 50 leisure furniture pieces every year in order to change traditional living spaces for your outdoors. They also offer a variety of different styles to suit your different tastes. As you can see, we have absolutely no shade and no landscaping on our brand new property. It is a clean slate. This is the area behind the YouTube studio, and it's how it was left after the area was prepared for the delivery of the studio. My dad and Nelson got together to till the area and kind of smooth it out a little bit because it was still rather rough in some areas. We weren't looking for perfection, but just rather trying to smooth out the area as much as possible to make it easier for us to hang around and enjoy it. Of course, not everybody was interested in helping out. Instead, they were just supervising. After a few hours, it was looking pretty good and free of any grass and weeds. Then the next thing my husband and my dad did was measure out the area for some concrete footers in preparation for the gazebo that we were going to install afterwards. Now, because of time and budget constraints, we were not able to pour a pad of concrete or add a complete deck. So this was the next best option for us, and it gave us a place to attach the gazebo to. Nelson marked where each individual one went, and my dad came in afterwards and dug the holes. Here is what they look like in place. Next, it was time to make sure that each one of these was nice and level. And then, of course, came the cement. Nelson made sure they were nice and smooth on the top, and then they were left to dry overnight. The grass here is pretty tough and can pretty much grow through anything, so we made sure to use landscape fabric in order to cover the entire area before we filled it in with gravel. We had a pretty large load of gravel delivered to the front of our property, and Nelson and my dad brought it in barrels with the mule. By the time my dad had to leave, this is what they had accomplished. And then it was up for me and Nelson to finish the rest. We still had to till as well as cover the surrounding areas with more gravel. So we went ahead and smoothed everything out, as well as add new landscape fabric to the areas surrounding it. Now, this was done in several steps throughout several days, just because this is a pretty tough work, especially when you have to shovel so much gravel back and forth. At this point, we were finally ready to get started on the gazebo, and we opened up all of the boxes and laid out everything according to what they were. Now for our back door area, I decided to go with the hardtop gazebo in brown with drainage gutters. The size that you see here is the 12 by 18. It is 99% UV proof, which is great because we have no protection against the sun here. It is wind resistant up to 50 miles an hour, and it is snow pressure resistant for up to 22 pounds per square foot on the roof. These features were very important to us since we're kind of out in the open. We are living on top of a mountain plateau, so the weather here in Tennessee is a little bit different than what we used to experience back in Georgia. Now, this gazebo is wonderful for any backyard or patio area, and we love it because we can have barbecues back here, family gatherings, or we can just chill out in the shade, or even when it rains lightly. We've actually enjoyed sitting out here while it sprinkles outside. Because of its sturdy frame and metal roof, it provides amazing protection, and your outdoor gatherings will go uninterrupted, rain or shine. I love the double top design where you have ventilation to increase circulation, and it comes with both netting and curtains for privacy. It has a modern look with sleek lines, and I love the single color. It just adds so much more to this backyard space that we can enjoy for many years to come. The best thing about this is that it is low maintenance, and it comes with a 5-year warranty and support for installation, troubleshooting, and maintenance. The roof is lined with a gutter and self-drainage system. This prevents water pooling and damage and reduces cleaning and maintenance efforts. If you've been wanting to add more style or a covered space to your backyard or patio, I suggest checking out Domi Outdoor Living, and I will have a link to their website as well as a link to the specific gazebo that we installed in our backyard in my description box below. Their shipping is free and fast, and they're always offering wonderful sales on their website, like their Father's Day sale going on right now.
So you can imagine how excited we were to get started on this gazebo. The first thing we started on were the pillars that hold the frame up. Because of the size of this gazebo, there were actually 6, 4 corners and 2 in the middle. Then we began attaching all of the frame together. Now we quickly learned that the best thing to do was to add in the bolts by hand and then come back in and screw them into place. Now there were quite a bit of steps involved in the installation of this gazebo, but they were all pretty much easy to follow. If you know my husband, you know he doesn't like instructions, so I'm the one usually reading them and he's the one putting things together. It works for us. Now you can probably build this gazebo in a day if you start early in the morning. However, we spread it across about 3 days or so since we started in the later afternoons after Nelson was done with work. Now this is definitely at least a 2-person job, and sometimes you'll need the assistance of maybe a couple more hands or some extra ladders like we did to put the top frame for the roof. Here we basically have the skeleton before we put on the roof panels. Now, just like everything you do for the very first time, it can be a little tricky to start putting the roof panels on, but once you get started, you'll see that they slide right in place. Now ladies, in order to keep your husband happy during a project of this magnitude, make sure to keep him hydrated and keep complimenting him on a job well done. Now we found that laying down all of the roof panels in order in which they're installed really helped us speed up the process. And we also found out that the fastest way to install these is to have somebody on one side with the nut and somebody underneath with the bolts as well. Now, once the gazebo was completely assembled, we anchored them down into our concrete footers that we had poured previously. But we were not done because we still had a little bit of landscaping and cleaning up to do on the perimeter. I wanted to go ahead and get this done now and properly so that we didn't have to come back and address it at a later time. So I marked the areas that we still needed to address and use the tiller on, as well as add a border and then fill in with even more gravel. This time we asked the help of our neighbor to come over with his tractor and help us with our gravel so that Nelson didn't have to shovel it all on his own. And yes, a tractor is definitely on Nelson's wish list. Once the gravel was delivered, Nelson and I completed the landscape fabric installation in all of the remaining areas, and Nelson filled in all of the gravel. Now the final step to the gazebo is to add the netting and the fabric covers for privacy. Now this is where I'm going to tell you to do as I say and not as I do. I should have started with the privacy paneling first and then the netting, but it's okay because it totally worked out. It's super easy to install, and I was very happy that the gazebo includes this because out in the country there are bugs everywhere. Lastly, we decided to add some lights to the interior of the gazebo as well. The last thing we did was install this weed barrier to prevent any weeds from coming into the gravel area. I wanted to make sure that, it all looked nice and neat and we didn't have to have any issues of weeds growing through or any gravel getting out. Now we still have quite a bit to do as far as landscaping is concerned, but that's something that's going to take some time, and we're really happy how everything looks so far. And as a reminder, here is how everything started out and what the back looked like before. And here is how it turned out. Everything looks so nice and tidy and clean out there. Now we actually have a space that we can enjoy in the shade. I am so excited to continue dressing up this area, so make sure to stick around for part 2, where I'm going to be adding furniture and a lot of other stuff surrounding the space. We look forward to enjoying outdoor meals out here and enjoying the beautiful sunsets. The mosquito netting encloses the space perfectly, and the solid panels give us a little bit more privacy. The addition of lights gives us added ambiance and allows us to enjoy the space later on in the evening.
Well, that's it for our very first part of our outdoor makeover series. Thank you so much to Domi Outdoor Living for partnering with me on this special video and providing the gazebo that was featured. I'm excited to add even more fun elements to this space, and I can't wait to share more with you all. Don't forget to check out Domi Outdoor Living for your outdoor needs and see which gazebo might be right for you. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you back here very soon with another home decor and DIY video. Until then, adios.